How are
Hi,
you, Noora?
how are you doing?
Very well. So good to see you.
Good to be here. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you. The pleasure is all ours. So, guys, today we have a very interesting conversation planned for all of you all. We will be talking about natural pearls from Bahrain, and with us is lovely Noora Jamsheer, who is CEO of Bahrain Institute of Pearl and Gemstones, DANAT. And she will talk to us about these amazing natural pearls and also highlight the key role that DANAT plays in protecting this natural resource. So, Noora, we welcome you once again, and we look forward to learning all about these rare and beautiful gemstones from Bahrain.
Thank you so much, Renu. It's such an honor to be here with you and with your amazing followers. I've been a great admirer of
Oh,
you and of your coverage. So it's a pleasure to be here on this platform.
thank you so much, Noora. So, let's begin by knowing what is Bahrain Institute of Pearl and Gemstones.
Thanks. Well, DANAT is not new to the field. DANAT was initially established in 1990, and it was a
Mhm,
branch of the Ministry of Industry and Commerce.
mhm,
And interesting history, the reason why the lab was formed in 1990 was because after the introduction of cultured pearls to the market, a lot of the Gulf countries, which were at the time the main producers of natural pearls worldwide, prohibited the trade in cultured pearls. And I believe all the countries in the region banned cultured pearls from entering into the region. And as time passed by, some countries eased out on this law, but Bahrain continued on upholding the law until the 1970. And in 1970, it became actually a law. And in 1990, the lab was formed in order to ensure and to monitor what comes into the country
mhm,
and to ensure basically that only natural pearls are traded within Bahrain. So in 2017, actually,
mhm.
His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince of Bahrain, launched the national plan to revive the natural pearls. And this is why DANAT was launched. It was actually the privatized lab that was initially under the Ministry of Industry and Commerce.
Mhm. That's interesting. So, talk to us about how did your journey with pearls and especially Danat begin?
Well, I'm Bahraini, so I have to say that natural pearls are in my blood. I still remember, touring around Bahrain and Manama back in the 1980s looking for natural pearls with my mom. My real journey with natural pearls started with a course that I actually took at Danat
Hmm.
about natural pearls. It was an amazing course. It was 7 days long, and
Wow.
it gives basically any enthusiast, pearl enthusiast, full knowledge about natural pearls, and it equates kind of to the diamond grader. So you
Hmm.
kind of come out of the course with good knowledge about natural pearls. So this was my recent adventures with natural pearls.
That's very interesting to know. What makes these natural pearls from Bahrain so special? I'm sure that our audience would love to know what are these natural pearls from Bahrain?
Okay, let me start actually by showing you some natural pearls from
Okay.
Bahrain.
Yes, please.
These, I hope the audience can see them, but these are natural pearls from Bahrain.
Hmm.
They are from different shapes. These are
Right.
different shapes. They come, um, so we have clusters, so we have some baroques and some
Yes.
different shapes. And these are the
Hmm.
different colors. So actually, I just want to show the audience some. So we have some black, we have a red, a golden,
Wow.
and in
Many.
different colors. So we produce different colors of
Wow.
natural pearls in Bahrain. And the reason why I guess the world or has been mesmerized by natural pearls from the region is because of the
Hmm.
luster. and more importantly, because they stay lustrous and beautiful for years. So, in fact, to my knowledge, I mean, a royalty was once asked, why does she continue on wearing these natural pearls for like over 40 years? And she said, I've been wearing them for 40 years. They are as beautiful as the day I got them. So they don't lose their luster. they don't lose their endurance, so they remain beautiful. And this is the reason, I believe, why a lot of the jewelers, the Cartiers, etc., travel to Bahrain. We have pictures of Jacques Cartier being in Bahrain in 1900s and so on. And that's the reason why they came in and wanted to acquire natural pearls from Bahrain. And at the time, Bahrain was the center of natural pearls in the region, because they stay beautiful, lustrous, and nothing kind of equates with their beauty.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm completely mesmerized by the beauty and the luster of these Bahrain natural pearls. So you mentioned that Bahrain has been the trade of natural pearls. I do remember reading in the books of history that Bahrain and India have had a long trade relationship. If you could please highlight to us a bit about the history and this long-term relationship between Bahrain and India.
Well, wow, that's a topic by itself, Renu. But I have to say, I think there is a street, I believe, in Mumbai that is called Arab Street, and I know that people from Bahrain, the merchants, and they used to actually live in India. So that trade is not as natural pearls, is garments and so on. But again, at the heart of that trade was always natural pearls. The reason why the merchants from Bahrain and from the region used to travel to India was not only to take natural pearls to India and bring back spices and other commodities, but it's this history is has been going on for centuries and decades, and there's a long history, and some of them, in fact, still live in India, so that's definitely a testament to the strong relationships between Bahrain and between India.
Yes, we look forward for this continued trade relationship between India and Bahrain. I have always been interested in knowing how are pearls sourced and the whole experience of pearl diving and oyster searching. So if you could also take us through the entire journey, please.
Okay, well, there's the ancient history, and then what happened 100 years ago. More than that, because let me first say that there is evidence of natural pearls being found or being part of people's lives that date 4,000 years ago.
Wow.
So there were the ancient graves that found around the region, which actually housed had natural pearls. I mean, some of the people were buried with their jewellery and so on. And some of this jewellery is not only gold, but some of them actually contain pearls that are still in perfect shape. And some of them are, in fact, going to be showcased in the Pearl Museum that is soon going to be launched along in the Pearl Route, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Bahrain. So in a few months, it will be open. And these pearls retain their luster. They're as beautiful as the ones that are found today. Now, of course, the process is quite known. You would dive for natural pearls. It's for the oysters. And what makes, again, Bahraini pearls special is that there is a high occurrence of natural pearls. Meaning what? Natural pearls can be found all around the world, basically, in salt, in fresh water, in different seas, in different oceans. I can show you some of the different shells, which the famous ones, of course, everybody has seen the mellow.
Yes.
So this is the shell that houses the mellow, where the mellow pearl is found. And I'll just show you some other interesting shells that are very special and very special.
Fantastic.
And one more. I don't know if, I hope you can still see
Yeah.
it.
Wow, this is beautiful.
So pearls can be found in different shells from different parts of the world. Now,
Mm-hmm.
in Bahrain or in the Gulf, we're known. The region is known to have the high occurrence of natural pearls. So
Mm-hmm.
around, we're doing studies as well, but approximately, let's say on average, we're talking about, you can find a natural pearl in about 100 or maybe less
Yes.
oysters. There are different parts, and our research director who is actually running a program now will even tell you that some parts around Bahrain, the occurrences are even higher. I mean, so you can find a natural pearl in every 10 or 50
Wow.
oysters. 100 years ago, we were talking about 10,000 boats that used to go to the pearl beds, and they used to dive constantly for natural pearls. That they used to get the natural pearls. They used to shack the oysters and get all the pearls. And then sort them before they were shipped to India and so on for trading. Today, the process is slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
A person who is interested in fishing for natural pearls, tourists actually, they would. There's a whole package that is a program run under the Bahrain Tourism Authority, where someone would apply in for a license. They would get a license. They would go with a service operator to the pearl beds, and they could collect some oysters, and they would show them how to shack the oysters. And the best part is that they get to keep whatever pearls they find.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So and that the fees for that is really minimal. So and Bahrain, I believe, is the only country in the world that has where natural pearl diving is actually legal.
Interesting.
Yeah. For Bahraini pearl divers, there's a different process. There's another process for application. They would have to apply to the Ministry of Directors of Fisheries and get a special permit. And this again would allow them to go to the pearl beds. Everything is regulated, because the key to any natural resource, and especially luxury natural resources, is sustainability. So the
Mm-hmm.
whole exercise, whether it's tourism, whether it's diving for natural pearls for commercial purposes, the whole process is monitored, regulated by different authorities in Bahrain, because the key here is sustainability.
Since you spoke about sustainability, as you were answering, the only thought that was coming to my mind constantly was, how does Bahrain maintain sustainability of its water and these natural pearl production?
Well, we're running. It's not an easy task, and
Yes.
it requires diligence by different government authorities, and it's actually a commitment. I mean, this actually brings me to probably to the point about to refocus on the national plan that was launched in 2017 to revive pearls. One of the main objectives of the national plan was preserving the the health of the beds, basically to monitor. And so therefore a lot of resources has been allocated towards preserving and making sure that the natural that the pearl beds are preserved, are monitored, to ensure that to monitor what's happening, because at the end of the day, natural pearls are a substance of nature, unlike
Yes.
diamonds that are mined and cut and polished. And so basically there is a lot of monitoring. We are currently doing a ongoing with the Supreme Council for the Environment, with the Ministry of Works on a full analysis and hopefully a stock assessment of the pearl beds in Bahrain. So there's a lot of effort that is going on into making sure that the pearl beds are healthy, are well maintained, and they're continue on monitoring the yields that are coming out of the pearl beds. One of the interesting facts that led to this study was that in 2017, another ecological or environmental study was done about the pearl beds. And what they noticed, one of the main outcomes of that study was that, so before 2017, Bahrain, like many other countries, prohibited or actually made it illegal to fish for oysters because of the fear that this natural pearl might get depleted, or these pearl beds might get depleted. So when the 2017 study was conducted, what they noticed within the pearl beds is that the oysters were growing on top of, or were settling on top of each other. But what was happening was that the oysters that were closer to the bottom were dying because they're unable to flourish and to get enough of the nutrients, etc. And therefore, pearling was in fact, or opening up the licenses to natural pearl was one measure to ensure the sustainability of the pearl beds. So in order for the pearl beds to continue on being prosperous, there has to be pearling in order for more pearls to grow, in order for more oysters to form along the pearl beds.
And that's only possible because the water in Bahrain supports a lot of oyster formation, right? That's why we have multiple oysters which are formed one above the other and which needed to be regulated.
Yeah, that's another research, Renu, and I think that's also fantastic. There are a lot of reasons. And some of our amazing researchers have done a lot of research to find out exactly, why our Gulf seas basically have a high occurrence of pearls. Could be the temperature, could be the nutrients that are in the water, the currents. So there are various factors that impact again the occurrence of natural pearls.
That means that I definitely must make a visit to Bahrain and see these amazing pearls, or like maybe go for diving and hold the oysters first in my hand, and then of course hold the beautiful pearls that come out of the oyster. Hopefully very soon, inshallah.
Hopefully, inshallah. You
Yes.
And all the amazing viewers right now are more than welcome to come to Bahrain.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now you spoke in detail about how a pearl formed. And once we have pearls, then I believe that they come to DANAT, where the entire pearl testing takes place. And we know that DANAT is very renowned and respected for pearl testing. So take us through a brief journey of pearl testing at DANAT.
Okay, the pearls arrive to DANAT, and we have our amazing operations team that would greet the customers. First of all, again, we do handle valuables. So a customer would have to open up an account at DANAT in order to submit. And I believe DANAT is one of the few labs that actually accept submissions from both consumers and from the industry. So you don't have to be a member, you don't have to have a jewellery trading license or just submit an item for testing at DANAT. They would handle the take-in after an account is open, and then the pearls would be transferred to the lab, where they would go through different testing levels to determine, to identify the waters, if they came in from a salt water or fresh water, and to determine whether they're natural or non-natural. That's, again, a different ballgame, and I think maybe better from our team previously spoke about that, but they're different, the whole thing about what's cultured and what's natural and what's anything in between, that's always an evolving thing. the reports are ready and handed back to the consumer.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned that both people from the trade and people who are direct consumers can submit pearls for testing at DANAT. So, moving on, can people from India also submit pearls to DANAT for testing and grading?
Absolutely. In fact, at DANAT, we have a free zone,
Okay.
a free zone whereby that's the whole purpose why this was created, is for that would allow us to test pearls from all around the world, from different
Wow.
parts of the world. They would come in, they would be exempted from taxes. The customs regulations are very minimal and are very easy to
Mm.
manage. If anyone is interested, they simply, and they're, they don't even know how to, they wouldn't know how to submit an item for testing at Dana. They can either contact our operation teams or our business development
Mm-hmm.
head. And again, the process is quite simple. We receive things from international locations every day. Process is very simple. They get tested, no customs, and then sent back.
So that means that the government of Bahrain also supports the entire pearl industry. We've heard a lot of involvement by the Bahrain government. So the government is equally supporting the entire pearl industry and the pearl business from Bahrain.
True, absolutely. I mean, pearls are very dear to the Bahraini government because, again, 100 years ago or more than that, the economy was dependent. Natural pearls were the main natural
Wow.
resource,
Yes.
and therefore, in fact, this was why in 2017 there was this direction towards reviving natural pearls, because natural pearls is what formed, is one of the main reasons why there is development in our region right now before the discovery of oil.
And moving further, for our pearl enthusiasts who are watching the conversation, I'm sure that many of us would like to know more about pearl courses. And Danat plays a very, very, very important role in building and creating an awareness about pearl education and pearl awareness. So we would love to know about the courses offered at Danat and how can our audience reach out to Danat to know more about these courses.
There are a variety of courses that we do at DANAT, and I'll start by focusing more on the Pearl courses because I think this is what we excel in.
Mm-hmm,
We have a 1 day, two wonderful programs about natural pearls. There
mm-hmm.
is the 1 day Pearl Principles, which was, I think, done 2 days ago. And it can be
Okay.
either done virtually or at DANAT. Now we live in COVID, and so therefore we had to
Yes.
adjust everything to being
Mm-hmm.
delivered online. Uh, so it's a 1 day course. It's a crash course. Someone would come out with a decent understanding about natural pearls. For the pearl lovers and for anyone who is interested in natural pearls and would like to take it further, I would
Mm-hmm.
highly recommend the Pearl program. The
Okay.
Pearl program includes theory, practical. You get to see pearls from different origins around the world, different shells. And at the end, someone would go to the lab and work as a gemologist for a day and work with the different instruments that we have in the lab, the X-ray machines and so on, to again identify pearls
Yes.
and to find out whether they're natural or non-natural, and
Mm-hmm.
the type of water that they were found in. In addition to that, at the end of that program, we offer the pearl diving experience. So we would go along with
Lovely.
yeah, we'd get with one of the tour operators to go down to the pearl beds, and that's an amazing kind of conclusion to the whole program. So a person would get to experience, to learn it about the theory, and so from sea to lab, the whole value chain.
Wow, that's very interesting. Moving further, for people who are looking to invest in natural pearls, we have pearl collectors and pearl enthusiasts. So, and you having an incredible experience with DANAT, what advice would you like to share with our audience who are looking to build a collection of natural pearls?
First thing, the most important thing, I wouldn't advise anyone to buy valuables without a certificate, because whether it's diamonds, whether it's gemstones, whether it's natural pearls, I cannot stress on the importance of a certificate. From a well-known gemological lab. That's, I think, the crucial thing, because you want to be sure that what you're buying is actually what you're getting. So natural pearls. By the way, I started in the industry back in 2002, and I started from diamonds, and I would say I'm more, if you talk about my years of experience, I would say that I'm more of a diamond person than I'm a natural pearl. However, I recently became a pearl enthusiast, and I love diamonds, but natural pearls are unique. You can't cut and polish a natural pearl to the way someone likes it. It is truly a unique item that I think every person needs to have, and it's nothing says you're unique, you're special like natural pearls. They can't be cut, they can't be found. That's it. They're found in an oyster. And that's it. They don't have to be polished. They don't have to be cut. Whatever. This is the end product. So if you have a certificate, that's it. That's all that you need. I mean, what else would say that someone is special, that someone is unique, that someone is gonna stay forever like natural pearls?
Absolutely. And talking about certificate, would you like to show us a DANAT certificate?
Sure. So we have different certificates, but let me show you the pearl certificates. This is what we call is a standard report. And there's some information about DANAT, and then we would always, in most of our DANAT certificates, you would see a picture of the item, and then a description of the item. So the weight, if there were any treatments to the natural pearls or whatever, they would all be displayed in here. So this is our basic, our standard report. And now I'm going to show you, we also have something called a supreme report and a premium report. So this is our supreme report. The reason, again, we talk about origin, and again, today's consumers are always interested to know, especially when the item is valuable, where did they come from, and what's the history of the item. And therefore, there is a lot of demand nowadays from consumers for a premium report. They would like to know, last year we had one of our amazing clients bought a natural pearl necklace, and she wanted to make sure that that it stays in her family. And she came in, she got a premium report, and she called the item, she named the item, and she wrote about it so that 100 years ago, in the next 100 years, when the item is inherited by her grandchildren, they know where the item came from. And so this is why the premium reports talks about the history, talks about would show more about the chemical analysis and so on. So there's a lot of information in the premium report about the item.
Showed us a certificate which had a picture of a jewelry which was made in pearls. So that means that one can have the loose pearls as well as the pearls which are studded in jewelry graded by DANAT.
True, absolutely. Whether it's loose, whether it's mounted in jewelry, yeah.
Very interesting. So with that, we are almost close to the end of our conversation. Thank you so much for giving us all your time. It's been wonderful to learn all about natural pearls from Bahrain and to know more about the courses. And guys, I would like to also highlight that we have a special giveaway coming up in collaboration with DANAT, where 5 lucky winners who will be selected randomly will win the Pearl basic course, which is offered by DANAT. It's going to be an online course and just for few hours. More details on that will be uploaded in my post, so stay tuned. And before we close, is there any message that you would like to share with our audience?
Thank you so much for your time, for giving us this opportunity. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be with you, and I really hope we can all welcome you to Bahrain soon in the near future.
Hopefully, I'm very positive that we will. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Renu. Have a wonderful day.
Yes, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.